morning, the morning after the night before. Let me have a look at some settings. And let's get you guys flipped around. I'm sure you don't want to stare at my ugly face. And we're going to have a little drive again. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that house has been built and fenced off fairly recently. Haven't seen that before. Looks good. So I'll wait and see if anybody joins me in the chat. And in a different area of the village today. I'm going to sort of drive about. Might be for half an hour, might be for 3 hours. It really depends on you guys. Depends how many people want to watch and have a look at our village. How much interaction you guys want to have. How many questions you've got. What you want to see. So I did a live stream last night with Sam and Ben Core and Sam from Sam's Russian Adventures, and it was a cool evening. It was a lot of fun, a lot of interaction, and should we say let's call it some interesting moments. But yeah, I've been trying to live stream every day lately, and that's what I want to really continue to do, just to show as many people as possible at different times. So I see different audience, and that's nothing against my regular audience. It's just the more people outside of my regular audience that see life in Russia, or not even that, just a different YouTube channel from Russia, a bit out of the ordinary. The more people see that, the better. Never been down here. There's another house being built. Everywhere I go in our villages, there's new houses being built, new properties. So, what's that? Another Chinese brand, Excite. Not seen one of those before. Looks a bit like a cherry. A lot of Chinese brand cars here. Driving one. And I think 10 years ago, most people would have probably thought the same as I did then. Chinese car? No thanks. Not interested in that. But if you still have that opinion, then yeah, you probably need an update, because they are so much better now. They really are. They are definitely a viable option now. And I'm not just saying that because I'm driving one. As I've said many times, and some of you might be bored with it. I'm a BMW, Mercedes, Audi, Range Rover guy. So for me, driving a Chinese car was never going to happen. Never. No thanks. But we ended up with our first Chinese car. Because we went actually to buy, I think, and there's lots of little independent builders around our village, and a big developer as well. By big developer, I mean I think they've got several developments on the go at the moment, some with 200 odd houses on them. So there is expansion in our village, but not actually beyond the borders or the boundaries of the village, but within the boundaries. There is construction everywhere, which is what I started talking about. Any sort of bits of land are getting bought, and new houses. Here's one for sale. That's a new build. Probably don't want to see the road I'm driving on. You're probably more interested in the houses, I'm guessing. Let me know. Do foreigners normally homeschool their kids? Aaron Smith. It's a good question. I don't know the answer, is the honest answer to that. I don't know. So rather than give you wrong information, I'll just say, look, I don't know. Countryside Acres, I believe, homeschool their children, I think, but I might be wrong on that, so I don't probably don't want to mislead you. I'm not trying to say one thing or another, but I think there's a requirement now. If you come to Russia and you want to apply for TRP, temporary residence permit, and you're bringing children, there is, I think, a requirement that those children learn Russian and go to a Russian school, I think. So it's something, if you have children, you're bringing children with you, you want to come to Russia, something you probably need to look at. I'm actually doing a series of videos on applying for temporary residency from an Englishman's perspective. And I've recently submitted my application. So I've done the first 2 videos, which is documents, what you need, and then a bit about the immigration process. And then my last video will be talking about the costs of the various processes that you have to go through, and my experience. I had a big scare. Oh, hello. There we go. Picked up some debris. Yeah, so I should be doing that video. I keep saying that. I should be doing that video, and I haven't done it yet, but I will be doing it. So if you're looking to come to Russia and you live in the UK, then have a look at those videos. Andre, hi Chris. That type of sky I have 365 days a year. Well, over the top of the hill, it is actually blue-ish in the distance. But yeah, it is cold here. We've got a few days of what I would call crap weather, but it's not really, is it? It's not horrendous. Oh, that's nice. Another new build on the right there. That is nice. It's quite a big one as well. Yes. Yeah, so we've got a bit of inclement weather. The snow descended for a few hours, and as you can see, most of it's gone. But the temperature hasn't. It's still cold, so yeah. I should be pointing you guys more at the side of the road, so I can see stuff. And obviously, as I'm driving around, you might find the signal glitches in and out. I can't help that. I can just park up, but you're going to be a bit bored with that. I'd rather try and show you as much as I can. And our village is a lot bigger than I first thought it was, to be honest. Once you start driving about and walking around, you sort of it keeps expanding and you keep finding places and thinking, oh, I didn't know this was here. But I've been down this road a few times, but I like just turning it off of the beaten track and just seeing what we can find. So you probably just saw that big building that's, well, looks like it's half built. That's really common. Case in point is one there. So that's really common. It's very common to find houses sort of half built for various reasons. One, it might just be that you've caught them in the process of being half built. Just back up and show you this one on this side as well. But sometimes they can take years before they're built. You know, some people that work in the north, for example, will look to retire down here in the nice weather, so they'll start building a retirement home, but all the time still working in the north, and it might be 5 or 10 years before they actually complete a house build. So very common to find houses half built and sitting like that for years, and other reasons as well. You know, maybe somebody's died and, you know, it's just sitting there. And I think really the main reason for that, unlike the UK, because that just doesn't happen in the UK, is the amount of space there is here in Russia, and, you know, the cost of land, etc. So there's no real drive for people that have got a piece of land with a half-built house on it. There's no real monetary gain to finish it off unless they're going to live in it. Rental isn't really a thing. Certainly not here. I think there's probably 2 properties for rent in our village. It just, you know, it doesn't make financial sense to build a house and rent it out. You just won't see a return. For example, in our village, if you built a house at the cost of, say, 11 million, it will be something like that, single story, bit of land around it, etc. And, you know, if you complete it with what we call an interior, which will be doors, believe it or not, doors, floor, kitchen, bathroom, so fully, you know, turnkey job, so that you can rent it out. It will probably rent out for between 30 and 40,000 rubles a month. So if it's going to cost you 10 or 11 million to build it, you can see it's going to take you a long time to recoup that cost. And that's assuming you haven't got to do any repairs. That's assuming that your tenants are great and they always pay their rent, although that's not really a thing here. You know, people are different. They just don't pay, because if you don't pay your rent here, you do get just thrown out. There isn't none of this squatters' rights legal issue, you know, having to take them to court and all that. No. They go literally the next day. So it's a bit different. So people pay their rent, so you don't really have that issue. But, you know, if you try to recoup 10 or 11 million rubles at a rate of, say, 35,000 rubles a month, it's going to take you a long time. And like I say, that's without having to do any repairs or maintenance or anything else. I've never been over this part, and there is loads, well, there's loads of houses everywhere, but it's just houses being built in this village everywhere. Really is. And I think that's because our village is the closest village to Anapa, apart from the suburbs of Anapa, but that one's for sale, so that'll probably get bought and developed at some point. So yeah, Anapa is only 15 minutes away from us. Where am I? I don't know. Let's go down this way. So yeah, rental isn't really a thing here. And mortgages, yeah, there are some and some, but a lot of people just own their property outright, and it's either been passed down to them, or you know, they've bought a piece of land and they've built on it over the years, etc., etc. So it's a different kind of culture to the UK. What's around here? Ah, that's kind of cool. I'm not sure the signal around here, but let me know in the comments if you can see in here. Even if it's just a thumbs up, anything will do. Look at that. That's kind of cool. And there's going to be a couple of houses in there. Not sure what's down here, so I should probably turn around because I think it's just a dead end. But yes, like I say, I'm trying to just drive around. It's something a little bit different. I mean, normally live streaming involves sitting at home or joining a stream with somebody else, sitting in front of a microphone maybe, or you know, occasionally walking about. But I just think if I drive around, yes, I know we're going to have a few issues with connection, but if you can bear with that, you're going to see an awful lot more than me just walking around for a bit. And plus, as I've said, I'm not walking anywhere today because it's -3 out there. It feels like Alaska to me. So left, straight on, or right? Well, right goes over to the vineyards, which is just empty field at the moment. Left takes us back to the main road, so let's go straight on. Hope we keep connection. But if you've got any questions, this is Russia right now. This isn't a movie set. This is southern Russia, just inland from a town on the Black Sea coast called Anapa, A-N-A-P-A. Put that in Google Maps, you can see where we are. And we're about 60 miles from Crimea. So not very far along the coast from Crimea and the Kerch Bridge. In fact, I think if I join the motorway just outside our village, we've got a new motorway now that links Crimea right the way up to Krasnodar, just one road, which is brilliant. It means it's half the journey time to Krasnodar, so it's fantastic. But yeah, if I join that and turn left, my next stop is the Kerch Bridge. So, what are you doing, dog? There seem to be certain words that all of a sudden, if I use, all of a sudden the connection drops. Certain buzzwords that are probably programmed into the algorithm, so I'll try and avoid them. But it's something that if you've been streaming for a while, you notice. It's very common for a lot of streamers over here in Russia to find that we're either shadow banned, or as soon as we get onto a certain topic, all of a sudden the connection drops. Well, and it's not from this end. Let me put it like that. Right, let's go this way. So I'm in uncharted territory now. Don't know where I am. I haven't been around here. But this is a very rural village, like I say, just outside of Napa. And as soon as you come off of the main artery roads, they're what we call an unmade road. Oh, we looked at that house up there. Interesting. And yeah, they're like this, which, you know, some people, if coming from the UK where everything's tarmac, oh God, oh imagine. But yeah, it's not something that bothers anybody really. And these might be tarmacked one day. They might not. But yeah, it's more important things in life to worry about. Right. Looks like a very grim place to live. Thanks, replicas. Halim, hi from France. Hi. Anapa, isn't that near the war zone? Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of people in the West call it a war zone. It's not, but hey, look, yeah, okay, let's call it that. It's not a war, not yet. Hasn't got to that level. It's a legal term. I'm being pedantic. But yeah, according to the West, I'm in a war zone. If you believe Western media, which you'd be mad if you did. You'd be far better off doing a bit of independent research, to be honest. Get some truth. More new builds in there. And yeah, if you like everything symmetrical and neat and tidy, and that's your view of what something should be, then yeah, you might look at this and go, oh my God. But personally, I love it because there is something to see. It's something different. No matter which road you go down, it's different. And you've got brand new properties in between 100-year-old Soviet era properties like that. And I just like that. I think it's great. I don't have a problem with it at all. It's nice to come and drive around history and not just be in amongst a load of Lego like I used to be. And that's quite funny. You've got a brand new fence there covering over quite an old property. And that's a brand new one. That's quite nice. For sale. And that's probably a couple of years old, that one there, 2 or 3 years old. Quite a big property. It's probably 180, 160, 180 square meters. Everything's measured like that out here, size of a house. It's square meters. And also it's on what they call cadastre value, so it's how it's recorded at the local administration, and they record the size of a house including things like terraces and a garage, stuff like that. So you can see properties advertised with 250 square meters, and they could actually be, the house could be 140 square meters, and the rest of it is, like I say, terraces and garage and sauna and stuff like that. And equally, you can find them 200 square meters and you turn up and it is a 200 square meter house. The price of land has gone up significantly in this village, significantly, from when we first bought our plot here. I think we paid around 250,000 rubles per 100 square meters, and you're looking at anywhere between, depending on the land, anywhere between 500,000 and a million rubles per 100 square meters, and that's how land is sort of sold. Minimum now purchase, unless it's already been registered, minimum purchase of size of land is now 600 square meters, which is a recent decree by the Russian government, just to ensure that people have got a decent, sized property, a decent, the ability to build a decent sized house and have land. Whereas in the UK, no, they'll shoehorn as many as they can. Townhouses are a big thing in the UK, obviously, because they can build up and have a much smaller footprint, so that means they can shoehorn a lot more houses in. So you see a lot of developments in the UK with townhouses on, and they charge more for it, but you have a postage stamp back garden, and very often your front door opens onto the pavement. And it's just about making money, isn't it? It's not for the benefit of the people. Right, let's have a quick catch up. Marcus, oh, does it? Oh well. I asked if it's near a war zone because the buzzword bridge that will probably cause a disconnection, which is not far from there, has been attacked a few times. Yeah, it's been attacked, and I think you only hear about the successful attack. You don't hear about the multiple unsuccessful attacks now, because obviously defences have been hugely improved and upgraded. So you don't really hear about that now. When was the last time you heard about a successful attack anywhere? Kursk is the buzzword, isn't it? Oh, look at the incursion. Well, yeah, they've just done a second counter-offensive apparently, which has been demolished. But again, it's all in the news. It's all, yeah, it's just a flea on a dog's back, to be honest. It's having no effect at all. Zero. It's not changing the outcome. The outcome is what it is. It has been for a long time. But it's all politics, isn't it? It's all politics. Blue rooflet. That's cool. What else we got? Replicas. Do you need to be a Russian citizen to buy a house there? No. So as a foreigner, you can buy land and or a house, land and a house, or just a piece of land and build your own, or you can buy an apartment, etc. There are certain restrictions. So, for example, in this village here, as a foreigner, you would not be able to buy land because it is in a what they call a border or coastal region, and Russian Federation, the government, has made it so that foreigners cannot buy property in coastal regions. And the reason for that is they don't want foreigners coming here, buying up all of the coastal land, building massive houses, and denying that opportunity to Russians, which I think is a good thing. But if you come inland a bit, you can buy land. You can, however, in the town of Anapa, you can buy an apartment because, as you know, apartments don't come with land. They're situated on land, but you don't own that. It's all lease, isn't it? It's leasehold. So I think there are 11 districts in our region that you, as a foreigner, couldn't buy land, and they're all the coastal regions or coastal districts. So Sochi, as far south of Sochi, all the way up the coast to the Kerch Bridge, and probably Crimea as well, I'm guessing. Yeah, straight on. But if you go 10 minutes further inland from here to the next village, which is Verenikovskaya, that's in a different district that hasn't got a coastal part to it. That's Krimsk, or Krimskaya, it might be. And you can buy land there. So literally 10 minutes away, you can buy land there, but here you can't. Look at these at the end of the road. Particularly like the one on the left, the white one. Very contemporary build. Nice size. I love the big windows, and that's just freshly been completed. And I don't see any for sale signs, so I guess the people are planning to live there. And that might be, you know, it might be a retirement place. That's cool. And next door is one in mid-build again. Now, I'd love to show you going right, but I know I'll lose signal. But if we went right, there's a development up there of about 200 new houses. But it's right on the edge of the village. It's under construction, it's under development at the moment, but the signal there is poor. So I know I'll lose signal there. So it's not really a lot of point because you won't see it. You know, the stream will cut and you won't see it anyway. Ozon and Wildberries. I must do a video about Ozon. Lots of people ask me about what's this Ozon thing. In the UK, it looks like ozone, Ozon, but it's a cross between eBay, Amazon. It's a cool idea. You've got an online portal, if you like, where you can buy anything from nail varnish to car tyres, and then rather than it sent to your home address, you have collection points, which are all these Ozon and Wildberries shops, if you want to call them that, and they're everywhere. I mean, literally everywhere. I think our village has probably got half a dozen of each, at least. And you get a notification it's arrived, and you go along and you pick it up. But the thing that I think is good is you get the option to open it in the collection point. They provide a table and knife to open the parcel, etc. Check to make sure A, that it's not damaged, B, that it is actually what you ordered, and C, that you actually want it and like it. And if you don't, if it's damaged, you obviously just go, no, I don't want it. If you get it out and go, well, I don't really like it, that's fine. If it's clothing, you've got changing rooms in these points, so you can actually try the clothes on. And if you don't like the look of it or it doesn't fit, you just say no, don't want it, and you send it back right there. And in fact, you don't do anything; you just hand it back to the assistant, and they repackage it and return it, and your money is, you know, returned instantly back into your account. So there's none of this sending it back to the supplier and waiting for a refund. It's refunded right there, right then. And some stuff you can order and not pay for it, and you can go and collect it. And if you're happy and you take it, then you pay for it. Or if not, you know, obviously you don't pay for it at all. So it's a really, really good idea, really good. And the emphasis obviously is on the suppliers, the sellers, to ensure that what they're selling is exactly as described, because otherwise it's going to get returned. So yeah, really good service, works very well. A lot of people buy a lot of stuff from there. Andre, it's all borderlands in Russia like that. The reason is the neighbouring country citizens will buy a lot of land. After a few hundred years, neighbouring countries will say it's ours. Yeah. I mean, it's not just borderland, it's coastal as well. So, I mean, if you think about a Napa, there isn't a neighbouring country to a Napa. So it's kind of both, Andre. It's borderlands, you know, they don't want next door buying the properties, and equally coastal resorts, they don't want people buying it and taking it away. That happens with Kosovo. Albans were migrating to the Serbian region from Albania a few hundred years ago, and now that region is stolen. Yeah, but it's a good idea. I think, you know, I agree with it. I think in the West it's too much about people coming into the country and making sure that they've got all of the rights in the world, and more often than not they have more rights than the people that live there. The people that have lived there, contributed to the economy all their life, and you find that illegal immigrants especially will come in and get everything given to them and more rights than people that have lived there and worked there all their lives, which is wrong, completely wrong. So yeah, Neil, I've only passively viewed your YouTube channel and your Telegram. Apologies, no apology necessary, mate. No doubt you've answered these questions before, but how long have you been living in Russia and your reasons for doing so? Neil, no apology necessary. Lots of my subscribers, just watch. They don't necessarily interact. No problem at all. The only thing I would say is if you join the Telegram group, you can literally ask me anything you like any time of the day and night. I'll probably be asleep if it's in the middle of the night, but you never know. But how long have I been here? First came here in October 21 on holiday. Came for 3 weeks. My world turned upside down because it wasn't what I was expecting at all. It was the polar opposite. And then we decided in week 3 of October 21 that we we're going to build a house here. So we signed the paperwork, paid our deposit, and we actually moved here in May of 23. Yeah, May 2023. That's when we actually came. I think. Or was it before that? Might even have been before 23. Yeah, no, we actually came May 23, and then we moved into our house in December 23. So yeah, so we've just had our second Christmas in our house, and now we've got the house finished. We're selling it. Oh dear, that's a whole other story. Mad dogs and Englishmen, eh? Yeah, didn't have any intentions of selling our house. We built it to be kind of did we build it as a forever home? I suppose we did. We built it with that, with the attitude of not thinking about saying, oh, the Val H9, brother. Look, that's what I'm sitting in. That's the outside. Yeah, built it without thinking about selling it. So we built it, exactly how we wanted it, with a swimming pool and a sauna and a good sized garden, etc., etc. And a garage, terraces, blah blah blah. Only to, when we first started the project, our daughter was a lot younger. Now she's at that age of, in a year she'll be leaving school, and she's talking about going to college. And we kind of realised that if she moves out and goes to college, then we're rattling around in a big house that we probably don't need. So we've sort of decided to downsize a bit to go to a single-story house. That's what we want to do, which we can be a forever home. So when we're older and shuffling about, we can't get up and down the stairs. Fine, we hopefully won't have any. So that's kind of the plan. Yeah, more to come on that. Hopefully, ooh, doggy, idiot. That's a stupid dog. Most of the dogs here use pedestrian crossings. And no, that is not a joke. Don't wait for the punchline. I am deadly serious. It is, well, yeah, most of the dogs here, you will drive along and they will sit at a pedestrian crossing waiting for the cars to stop, and then they'll cross, even to the point that they will cross halfway. If the cars stop on the side that they're on, the dog will cross halfway on the crossing, and then he'll stop and wait for the other traffic. They've literally learned from humans that a pedestrian crossing is a good place to cross the road and not get run over. So yeah, they will literally sit and wait to cross the road. Yeah, amazing. Clever dogs. Reasons for doing so, Neil. So hopefully I answered when we moved. Reasons for doing so. Yeah, fell in love with the country. Didn't fall out of love with the UK. A lot of people have called me a traitor and blah, 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 blah. Hey, look, I've just changed my geography. And I've changed it because I came here on holiday and fell in love with it. Just like anybody that goes to Spain and then relocates to Spain or Portugal or south of France or anybody else. It's no different. I just came to Russia instead. The only difference is when we came here in October 2021, it was considered you know, no different to moving to Spain or Portugal or France or anywhere else, as I've just said. And now all of a sudden, because of the Western narrative and the way that they've spun it, Russia has turned into this evil monster, and so have the Russians. And that's absolutely not true. It's completely false. The narrative is a pack of lies. I can say that because I can see both sides. I am in the fortunate position of being here, so I can see what is said about Russia and just look at it and just know that it's lies because I'm seeing it and I'm living it. So yeah, I came here because I fell in love with the country. I fell in love with the people, you know, and I don't mean that literally with every single person I've met. I'm not madly in love with them, but just the whole attitude that Russians have. They're very, very, very straight. There's none of this falseness. There's not fake. There's not, hi, have a nice day, and then behind your back making smirky faces. You know, if they like you, they'll tell you they like you. If they invite you into their home, it's genuine. They mean it. And if they think you're being a dick, they'll tell you you're being a dick. They're not sort of worried about your feelings and, you know, being politically correct. There isn't any of that here. You know, everybody can speak freely and speak your mind, despite what Western media will say. And I love that. I love, you know, straight shooters. I love it how, you know, that kind of attitude. Family here is everything. You know, life here in the south of Russia, where we are, is very much about the outside. We have very long summer here. Feels like about 8 months. But we have a very long summer. I think last year we were in the swimming pool in March, and we stopped using the swimming pool in November. So you have a very long summer, and it's all about the outdoors. It's all about the outside. It's about spending time with your family and your friends. You know, barbecues, swimming pool, down to the beach, that kind of thing. And again, I love that. I love the fact that, you know, it's not, nobody's trying to keep up with the Joneses. It's not about what you've got. You know, if you see a Rolls Royce or a Lamborghini driving down the road, in fact, I haven't seen a Lambo. Yes, I have seen a Urus. But if you see something like that, nobody's looking at it like they would in the UK. Oh, drug dealer. Oh, I bet he's, you know, been a drug dealer and stole his money. You know, all of the judgmental stuff that they come out with. Nobody even looks at it twice. Let me get out of this lady's way. Don't want them to go round me out into the road. That wouldn't be fair. Yeah, so, you know, nobody looks at you and, oh, what have you got? And, you know, it's just not wired like that. And Russians aren't wired for hate either. Again, contrary to Western media, that's all absolute lies. They're not programmed the same way as we are in the West. The attitude here is they'll treat you how you treat them. And if you're shitty and you're a dick to somebody out here, then they'll treat you the same way. If you're nice, you know, they'll be the same, but they keep themselves. They don't get in your business all the time. They're very private people. And I think that's why they're misunderstood. A lot of people think that they're rude or they're arrogant because they're not running up to you going, oh, hi, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. They don't do that. You know, strangers will look at you a bit weird if you say hello to them. It just sort of, oh, that's a bit strange. I don't even know you. But if you say, hi, I wonder if you can help me, they'll help you. Absolutely, they will. So yeah, it's just a nice place to be. The food here is amazing. The quality of the food is absolutely amazing. You know, everything is grown locally around us, so we've got farmers markets every day. So the quality of the food, you know, I've lost, Christ, I'm about 94 kilos at the moment, and I came here weighing 109, so I've lost 15 kilos. Not because I'm starving, not because I've changed my eating habits or anything at all, but just purely because the quality of the food's different. I'm eating fresher food rather than frozen or whatever. The weather, you know, as you can see, the sun's trying to poke its head out now. So the climate is equivalent really to the south of France. Yeah, and I just love the freedom that I have here. The safety. I've never felt so safe in any country, and I've been to a lot of countries. But yeah, I mean, I haven't seen any acts of violence since I've been here. I haven't seen any, even what we would call road rage in the UK. You know, somebody stopping a car and dragging somebody out. You don't see that. It just doesn't happen. You know, the most I've seen is somebody bibbing their horn at someone. And I mean that. You know, I've never seen a fight. I've never seen any anger or aggression or anything. Nothing at all. So, you know, it's a very safe place to be. Which some people might go, oh, blimey, how can it be? Well, it is. It's simple as that. It just is. You know, even given the current situation, of course, you know, certain people are lobbing stuff over the border. So, you know, wherever that lands, yeah, of course, you can't really call that safe. But, you know, that is what it is. It's a situation that's being dealt with. But beyond that, normal daily life goes on. And it's incredibly safe place to be. Brilliant for children. Children can walk to school without fear. And I regularly, not so much now at this temperature, they're all getting ferried about, I suppose, but in the summer, you regularly see children hitchhiking, for example, thumbing a lift to the next village or into the town. And that's a regular occurrence. So, you know, if the country's not safe, you wouldn't be able to do that, would you? So that's just a few reasons as to why I came here, Neil. I hope that helps. But like I say, join my Telegram if you've got any specific questions and hit me up. Pension News. Hi, nice to see you. Will you become a Russian citizen too? Oh dear, that's a long process. There's a lot of steps. I suppose the simple answer is I don't know. I don't know. I've got to learn to speak Russian. You're not going to get citizenship without being able to speak the language. And whilst I am learning the language, it's incredibly difficult. But it is a long process. So I don't know is the honest answer. I'm just concentrating on enjoying life and living day by day at the moment. Andre, but you know all about that. Brits was killed by Anglo-Saxons, then Nordic guests came and lighted the light. Was paid a lot of years. Yeah. Neil, a beautiful plan. Well, I'm enjoying my life, mate, so I'd say so. Bill, hi. Good afternoon. It's not afternoon, it's 5 to 11 in the morning. Good afternoon, Chris. I hope you and the wife are all good. Yes, mate, we are. Hope you're good too, and yours. But yeah, we're all good, mate. A bit chilly, -3 at the moment. But yeah. Sarge Ali, beautiful Russia. It is. Yeah. I mean, you know, you're staring down the road at the moment, and I wish I could live stream from like the vineyards and like we've got an active volcano just down the road. I'd love to go there and live stream, but I can't. I tried it yesterday, and there's no signal. So, you know, you'll have to look at my videos because I have done a video from there, and I've videoed lots of the vineyards. So you'll have to have a look at my channel and look at the videos. Because if I can't live stream from somewhere, then I'll video it. Love, respect, honour to Putin. Okay. Dogs in Russia get fined when caught outside the pedestrian crossing. Yeah. Neil, yep, I fell in love with the Slavic culture. I will buying land and building a house within the next 2 years. Wow. Okay. Whereabouts? In Russia or in the Baltic states, or where you're planning on moving to? Belarus? Let me know. Gorgorov.org. Here we go. How many Brits are now leaving the UK due to the state of everything? I think people are now aware of the duplicity of the governments. I mean, I can't obviously answer that question. I have no idea how many Brits. I can tell you that I'm a bit of an anomaly in this area, because most Brits, most Westerners, if you ask them, you know, name a town or a city in Russia, they go Moscow or St. Petersburg, because that's their idea of Russia. And that's, you know, through media. Media hasn't, you know, let people know anything beyond that. So that's where most people head. So I'm a bit of an anomaly in this area. I regularly meet people and they tell me that I'm the first Englishman they've ever met, ever seen. So I don't know how many people are planning to leave the UK or anywhere else and come to Russia. The job has been made easier with the recent decree by the president a few months ago, the 702, which makes applying for TRP, temporary residence permit, much easier. So if you're interested in that, have a look at my channel. There's a couple of videos about it already. There'll be another video up soon. And yeah, if you've got any questions, feel free to ask. Andre, I'm coming next week. Thursday, I think. Stay till Sunday, missing my quiet village and neighbours. They became good friends of mine by 10 years. Mr. Real Sauna as well. Oh, awesome. Andre, I can't remember. I speak to so many people. I'm sure you understand. I can't remember whereabouts. But yeah, sauna. Oh, that's lovely in this weather. Using it every day at the moment. Love our sauna. Neil, yep, Slavic food is fresh and pure. Yeah, it is. It's Russians grow a lot of their own food. It's a very big thing. It's like the UK used to be in the 60s. We had allotments, didn't we? But that's all sort of died out. Who grows their own fruit and veg now in the UK? Hardly anybody. Whereas here, most people do. A lot of people have got their back garden. It's absolutely jam-packed. It's very common. John goes to Russia, says the food is great. Is potato. Is potato. Righto, John. I'm just saying the truth, I'm just saying how it is. I came to Russia, the food's lovely. It's not, GMO is genetically modified food here is banned. It's illegal. So just on that basis alone, you can tell the food's better quality. And it is. You get weird shaped carrots and weird shaped potatoes because that's how they grow. They're not modified to make them look, a certain shape. Do they spray chemtrails there? I honestly, I've never dived into the whole chemtrails thing. I know some people have various views about it. I don't have an opinion on it because I've not researched it. I haven't looked into it. I can tell you, I'm looking up in the sky now. I can't see anything. But equally, our local airport is closed at the moment, so who knows? I don't know. Is a simple answer. I'm not the right person to ask about that because I haven't researched it and I won't comment on something if I don't know about it. If I haven't got personal experience of it or I haven't done any research on it. So yeah, I'm sorry. I'm wrong person to ask about chemtrails. Neil, a lot of rich British have left or in the process of leaving, mostly to Dubai. Yeah, France, Portugal, or Spain. The Spanish have implemented 100% tax on homes. Yeah, there you go. Sounds friendly, doesn't it? People say, "Oh, Russia, oh, you can't do this." 100% tax, really? Well, we haven't got that. Statistics banded around that every 45 minutes a millionaire leaves. Well, if all you do is hammer people with tax, and oh, doggy, no, he's on the crossing. Look, is that one going to use the crossing? Let's have a look. Yep, on the crossing. Look, they are stopped, waited for the car, and then carried on. Cross on the pedestrian crossing. See what I mean? Yeah, if all you do is tax the hell out of people, they're going to get a bit fed up with that. If you earn money and see half of it disappear before you even get your hands on it, you're going to start to question that. You're told that it's for a good reason and you're so lucky, and and that's what one of the things I noticed. I was told that so lucky all my life. Oh, you're so lucky to be British, so lucky to be born in the UK. You've got the best health service in the world. Blah blah, safest country in the world. All of this absolute crap, absolute lies. The healthcare here outdoes anything in the UK by a country mile. It is absolutely in a different league, and I've got personal experience of that, so I can talk from experience. But the healthcare here makes anything available in the UK look archaic. It is phenomenal. If I'd stayed in the UK, I was scheduled for surgery, 2 surgeries in fact. I've come here and I've been treated and I haven't had surgery. That's the difference. In the UK, that was my only option. Here, they were horrified. It's like, surgery? They're going to cut you open. What for? Why? Why hasn't this been treated? Well, there isn't any treatments. Treatment is surgery in the UK. No, God no. So literally horrified. So I can tell you the healthcare here is far superior. So, you know, if you're going to tax people and tell them that they're so lucky, then they better be lucky. It better be true, because when they find out that it isn't, they'll have a different opinion. Andre, have a house in the northwest of Russia between Pskov and St. Petersburg. Oh, Chile. How far am I from Kursk? I don't know, because that's the sort of more northern border to us. You'd have to have a look on Google Maps. Yeah, so Matthew, it is a Napa, A-N-A-P-A, a Napa. But I can't mention that other word that you've asked about because the connection will drop. And that's perfectly normal. There are certain words that us YouTubers, if you can call me that, I hate that, but it is what it is. If we say them in streams or in videos, then yeah, in streams the connection drops. In videos, they just don't get promoted. You have a look at some of my videos on my channel and they've got thousands of views, and you look at others and there's no real difference, and they'll have 200 or 300 views. It really depends on the subject matter. And if you're talking about temporary residency, the videos don't get a lot of views. So yeah, and certain, like I say, certain buzzwords kills the video. There we go. YouTube censorship, shadow banning. Right, where should we go? Do like that over there. Look. Nice green, mint green. What's down here? Bit of snow, change of scenery. And another place in construction. Look. Well, that's the garage. Oh, the house is behind. So that's actually the garage. Wow, that's cool. Let me see if I can just show you a bit more of that. There you go, look, nice house being built behind, and that's the garage. That'll be garage at the front, and then probably the banya, sauna and stuff behind. That's cool. That one's been built a while, a couple of years, probably 2 or 3 years. Nice green on there, look. Let's go up here. I like looking at carports because the next house that we buy, we will have, if it hasn't got a carport, I'll be building one, and if it has got a carport, I'll probably be making it bigger. I don't know if I'll build a garage again. I might do. Again, it depends on the house. So, big house being built at the end here, garage in front. Garages aren't that common out here. Carports are, nearly everybody has a carport. But that's quite nice. That's going to be a nice property with big windows. And a little one next door, look. A little single story next door. So yeah, as you can see, I hope, plenty of construction. So again, kind of debunks the news that the Russian economy is tanked and nobody's got any money, doesn't it? yeah, hopefully that answered your question, Matthew. The Holloman on the moon. Better than the UK. I'd rather be in Russia than under Starmer. Well, yeah, I said long before that man got into power that he was going to be very dangerous. But unfortunately, nobody voted for him. They just voted against Sunak. And that's what, the press don't report. But that's, if you look at the real statistics, he's been I think he's got in with the least amount of support ever in the UK. Although he calls it a landslide victory, it was absolutely, when you drill down into the actual numbers, it was far from that. It was a first across the post kind of scenario, first past the post. But absolutely the most unsupported prime minister that Britain has ever had. And I said long before that happened that he's going to get in, and he is a WEF puppet. He's the same policies that everybody hated about Sunak. The only difference is that this guy's a jackboot thug, and he will push those policies through, whereas Sunak was a bit of a limp lettuce, whereas this guy does not care. Absolutely ruthless. And yeah, those policies will get pushed through. Matt, thank you, mate. Your pleasure. You're absolutely welcome. Neil, it's in the NHS interest for you to be sick. More funding. Yeah, and have you also noticed that it gets worse and worse each year, and gradually more and more things get privatised? Just sort of step back a bit. We're heading the same way as the US. It's going to be all about insurance. You're probably going to have different tiers of insurance, 1, 2, and 3 maybe, and you'll pay to have good quality healthcare, and that's all it'll be. It'll be because the elites do not want to be paying out for healthcare for us lot. They don't want to look after us and lose profit. They'd rather we insured against it and they can make more money from it. Matt, interesting censorship. Yes, it is. We get used to it. But you forget sometimes, and then you say the wrong word, and all of a sudden the connection drops. Andre, dentists cost like 7 times cheaper than in the EU. I know, because I'm going only to St. Petersburg. Yeah, I mean, dentists in the UK are extortionate. My last visit to the dentist in the UK was a Polish dentist, and it was awful, I've got to say. Terrible experience. Pulled a tooth, cost me a load of money, hurt like hell. Just a horrible, horrible experience. And I hadn't even mentioned the R word, i.e. Russia. And his assistant was also Polish, and all she did the entire time I was there was tell me, and again, this is weird, but they just vocalized how terrible Russia was, how evil Russians were. And I hadn't mentioned Russia. I didn't tell them that my wife was Russian. They didn't have no clue, but it was just their rhetoric, They just wanted to spout that out. And this Polish assistant just told me how evil Russians are and what a terrible place. And oh my God, they're absolute murderers. They don't care about anybody. Crime in Russia. And I said, I'll be honest, I did say to her, "Oh, when were you last in Russia?" "Oh, I've never been there. I would never go there." And you're like, okay, righto. It tells you everything. It's just a narrative that's, once they latch onto it, these people, they don't do their research. They just believe whatever narrative they've had forced down their throats, and they run with it. They haven't got the brain cells to actually do any research and find out whether it's true or not. Neil, thanks for answering my questions. Have a great day. Thank you, and you. Like I say, join my Telegram. Feel free to ask me anything you want. Movie High Club. I always wondered how Russian actually feels about the US, or how do you think about the president, and do you like Putin? I've never met Putin, so I can't say I like him because I've never met him. I can only comment on people I've met. You know who they are. I know who he is. I've got to say that he puts Russia and Russians first, and just on that basis alone, I would say yes, I support him on that basis, because that's exactly what you should elect a leader for. That should be the absolute top of your tree. That should be your first major agenda when electing somebody to govern the country. It should be on the basis that they are going to put natives of that country first, and the country first. Everything else beyond that, yeah, of course, is important, but that should be the first priority. And Putin has done that since he's come to power. And that's why he enjoys the support that he does, about 87% in the election. And a lot of people will go, "Oh, the election's rigged, it's false." No, it wasn't. You know, I can't remember how many different candidates and parties there are in Russia. Not like 2 in the US. Republicans or Democrats, that's all you've got. No, that's not a democracy. That's a choice between 2. You know, you can have any colour you like as long as it's black. That's not democracy. Same in the UK. You know, it's pretty much 2 parties, same policies, different figurehead. You know, policies worded slightly differently, but they're the same. Well, that's not democracy either. Well, I can't stand that word now because it's just been destroyed. It doesn't have any relevance in the real world anymore. It should be called manipulation and false accounting. That would be more accurate. But no, never met the man. But I do think that what he has done for Russia and what he does for Russians has been remarkable. It's still not done. There's a lot to be done. But where he has brought Russia in the last 20 years is absolutely astonishing. In all levels, you know, in quality of life, in cost, in technology. I mean, yeah, the technology available out here would melt your face. It really would. Right. Lewis Phillip, do they take American refugees? Yep. What is? No idea. Adrian, that's the same. Many people aid about Iranians, but when you're there, they can't do enough for you. And make so. Yeah, absolutely. Again, that's the latest one, isn't it? Especially if you're American, you're being convinced that the Iranians are evil monsters. I've met a few Iranians, and they've been some of the kindest people I've ever met. So, you know, if you tar everybody with the same brush, well, yeah. What is down here? I've never been down here. These will get knocked down and developed, without a doubt. There you go. Let's put the car into snow mode just for this bit because it's icy. Not that it needs it. It doesn't make any difference, to be honest. Well, it does make a difference, but I mean, it doesn't need to go into snow mode to get around. It's been amazing, this car is. Absolutely amazing. It's such a shame that I can't show you some of these new developments because they're just, the signal will break up. Let's try down here. Hopefully we still get signal. And this is, I haven't been around here. This is it's more of the village that I didn't know existed. That's nice. That's a nice house. Nice design, nice windows. Right, do I want to go straight or left? I'm starting to wonder where I am, so I better go left. James, he wasn't elected. See, certain words, you can't say them. Certain words, and YouTube drops the signal. And it isn't the signal. I can see what signal I've got here. It's just as soon as you mention certain words, all of a sudden, interrupted. Let's stop now. I've relocated somewhere else. People, at least they live normal lives. Yes, absolutely movie high club Russians just live their lives. That's all they try to do. Just enjoy life. Quality of life here is better than in the UK. For me, anyway, I can 100% say that. I've living a life here that I couldn't have dreamed of in the UK. My life in the UK would be working until I died. That was my future. Paying bills, struggling to get by, like most people, I think. Nikolai, nice to see you. You're a glutton for punishment, sir. It's not enough to like the president, you need to love him. Like Musk loves Trump. This is a good example. Okay. Yeah, I mean, not everybody in Russia likes the president. Well, okay. You can't deny the achievements. It doesn't matter. You cannot deny fact. And where the country has gone in 20 years would not have happened had it not been for the current president or somebody very, very similar to him. It wouldn't have happened. So you cannot deny the facts. Whether you like him or not, you cannot deny the facts. Andre, UK changing primes like 2 times a week. Yeah, I mean, look at what you've had in the last few years. I mean, look at Liz Truss. Really? I mean, really? God almighty. But to be honest, dumb as a box of frogs, but certainly better than the current bloke. He's very clever and he's, not good. Saying all about economical and social situation in the UK. Sorry about that, but the UK is in a horrible crisis. Yeah, hey, don't apologise. I know it's in a horrible crisis. Have you ever seen a tiger in the wild? No. BWTS. Step in front of me anytime, pal. Daft, sycophantic, blah, blah. I'm going to fucking do you. Yeah. Block this. What's a yoy? Prick. Blah, blah. Yeah, I mean, you're of no value, aren't you? You're just a brain dead moron. So, of no value. And gone. Bye-bye. What car is it? It is a Haval H9. It's brilliant. Chinese. I love it. Like Trump loves Netanyahu. Yeah, that's scary, isn't it? But yeah, how can you love that bloke? That is an evil monster. Netanyahu. Dear, oh dear. What a monster. Black Sheep, hello. Hi. Dan Bowen, what are those aerial pipes for? Have I missed them? Don't know which ones you mean. Do you mean things like that? That's gas, if that's what you mean. Yellow pipes. So I've covered that off many times in videos. Yeah, gas pipes are above ground here. New developments have them underground, like our house. The gas is underground, but traditionally it's above ground. It's easier to work on. It's easier to connect to. You haven't got to dig up a road if there's a fault. If there's a new house built, you haven't got to dig up a road. You just shut the valves at either end of the pipe and tee off of it. It's much easier to maintain. There's a million and one good reasons for it. If you come from the West, you might think it looks ugly. And that was my first impression when I saw it. But when you factor in the maintenance side of things, and if you don't like the ugliness, you can pay £200 odd a month for your gas bill, or you can put up with, if you think it's ugly, you can put up with the ugliness and pay 90p for your gas bill, as we did last month. 90p was our gas bill. I'm not joking. 90p. So I'd rather do that, to be honest. Yeah, it's gas pipes. How do you achieve cheaper home life living in Russia? Well, everything's cheaper. The cost of living is cheaper. Houses are cheaper. I mean, our house, if I had our house in my hometown in a particular area, like quite a nice area, it would be the best part of £1 million, because the size of the land, the swimming pool, sauna, the terraces, it would be the best part of £1 million. Be 800, 800 to a million. Whereas here it's can't talk about that. Can't tell people the cost of living's better. Right, oh, on we go. So more being built, more houses, as I say. Construction everywhere. Yeah, let's go straight over. Try and catch up with the chat. I don't want to fall behind it. And working. Okay. Leo, Russians don't have to worry about energy bills or have their elderly freeze. True. 100% true. Little hearts, it looks like. Mari. Thank you. Do a donut. Right. I need to try this because I have this button here. And that is called tank turn. And my understanding is I can turn on the spot with this car. That's one of the many features that it has. And I want to try that. Must try it one day. Pluck up the courage. Yeah, tank turn. I'm sure you've seen it on the internet. I think BYD did a video with their, is it a U8? Their super expensive, high luxury four-wheel drive. And I think the new G-Wagons can do it as well. But apparently this can do it as well. It's got a button for it and it works. So I need to try it. I need to go in a field and try it. Looks like fun. Be completely pointless, I know, but it won't be. If you're doing serious off-roading, then a feature like that could be really useful. Another house in build. Nice one next to it. Next to definitely an old one. I've got a nice contemporary one down there. Another little building site. Some houses being built. Interesting. New build. Another one behind it, and this land is obviously getting developed. I can't get over there because there's a ditch, but you can see they've cleared the land, so there's going to be a few houses built here. The electricity bill I got for the 2024 year total was like €250. People who live in European Union or UK will not believe me. No, they won't. No, they won't. They won't. Because again, they're brainwashed into believing that. Again, that's it's got nothing to do with profiteering or bad decisions. Mr. P done it, didn't he? Something else he's guilty of. I've said it many times. I'd love to meet him because my picture of the president is based on Western media is that he's 200 feet high, made of liquid titanium, and is capable of teleportation and time travel. Because what he's accused of as one man is well, yeah, quite remarkable, I think. So I'd love to meet this amazing figure. But again, he's the name that the West slaps onto every single thing. If it goes wrong, he done it. It's his fault. Just laughable, isn't it? Well, it would be if it wasn't so evil. You know, a lot of people have gone to their death based on these lies. The Western media has that blood on their hands. And like everything, in years to come, it will come out. The truth will out. Look at that one. Blimey. Kripskaya. The issue is everything good and bad in the last 20 years in Russia is Mr. P only. This is wrong. This is good for propaganda, but Russia works different. Yeah, I mean, there's a government here that people just, especially in the West, they just completely overlook. You know, because it doesn't fit their narrative. You know, it's a dictatorship. One man is responsible. That's not the case. There's a government here. And Russians are sticklers for paperwork and, you know, laws and stuff like that. So, yeah, but that doesn't fit the narrative. They can't sell the dictatorship theory if they say anything other than one man is to blame. So they must attach everything to one man and tell you that this isn't a democracy, it's a dictatorship, and that's just simply not true. Right, I caught up with the chat, so that's good. Now, where should we go? Where should we go? Let's go this way. We're heading into the centre of the village. Let's have a think. If I go right, there's not a lot that way. So let's go left. Oh, bless her. Don't know if you saw that elderly lady sat on a bench outside her house. So again, the purpose of me doing this sort of thing is to show the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know, there's a lot of YouTube channels that will only show one side, either oh everything's amazing and wonderful, or everything is completely rubbish. I just want to show reality. You know, that's why I like doing live streams rather than videos, because videos are edited, and you know it's just edited highlights to suit whether it has to be all good or all bad. Whereas at least with a live stream, you can see I turn the camera on and I drive around. So what you see is real. It's, you know, some properties, yeah, are run down, falling apart. Some are abandoned. Some are half built, and then other properties are brand new and gorgeous and wonderful, and everything in between. So I think it's important that you see the reality, the truth, rather than a made-up story that has been edited to death. The sun's out now. That'll kill the snow. Blue skies. Wonderful. Look at this lot. Lovely. We'll have to make an attempt to pull out. Let's go. Right. So, where should we go? Where should we go? Let's turn the heating steering wheel off as well. It's getting hot. I'm going to take the next right, I think, just because. So this is the main road. You've got vineyards up ahead and the hills, and in that direction is Nova Asisk. So that's a port town, big population. I'm sure most of you have heard of Nova Asisk various times in the media. But that port has massively increased in size thanks to Latvia. So yeah, Latvia decided it wanted to jump on the bandwagon and hate Russia. Probably always has, but you know, they wanted to publicly do it and try and be the big I am. And at the time, Russia was importing an awful lot of stuff in through Latvia, and Latvia went, no, Russia's bad. We're not using our port anymore. So Russia went, okay, and moved it to Nova Asisk. Consequently, Latvia's economy has tanked, and Nova Asisk has absolutely exploded. And you know, I don't mean literally, but I mean as in the economy and the infrastructure. There's stuff being built everywhere in Nova Asisk, literally everywhere. Port has massively increased in size because it's gained all of this commercial trade. So well done, Latvia, genius. Talk about shoot yourself in the foot and decide to run a marathon. Duh. Really common, isn't it? Guess a lot of you guys won't see that, but you know, we see the choice in the mistakes, and you see what it's doing to European economies. Germany, absolutely deindustrialized, verge of economic disaster. UK, cost of living going through the roof, cost of energy going through the roof. But it's all Mr. P's fault, isn't it? Not through bad choices, of course. Not through following the globalist agenda or listening to Ursula von der Leyen. No, definitely none of that. It is just purely Mr. P's fault. Another new build there. That looks kind of interesting. We've got the obligatory larder coming up, so we let him past. Going anywhere vehicle used by most tradesmen. You see all sorts with a larder, all sorts of things strapped to the roof, half a house. It's quite funny. Very stereotypical, of course. But the reality is, things keep going. So, there's some nice houses there, look. Let me go down this way. And Jaku, another Chinese vehicle. Larder with a bonnet off. Yeah, what's this one over here? Kia, is it? Yeah, Kia. What do you think that is? Is that a kids' play area or a bus shelter? Don't know. Truth is that VP has illegal, has he now? Okay, that's the truth, is it? Right, or is that your version of the truth based on you listening to Western media and you've not done any research yourself, because after 3 years, nobody that has done any research would have that opinion. Nobody. The only people that have that opinion are talking heads of not done any independent research. They are just turning on their TV and believing what is fired out to them. So Timmy Booth, yeah, responsible for all. Yeah, okay, blah blah blah. Yeah, unfortunately, Timmy Booth, you are completely wrong. But you know, if we're 3 years in and you still have that opinion, I'm guessing you're one of the guys that changed your flag in your bio on your social media, more than likely. You're not. Now, where should we go? Let's go down here. Down. That sun should see all of the snow gone today. Should be good. Although I can't complain because we didn't really have much of an impact of the snow. We had quite a bit a couple of days ago in the morning, and immediately the gritter lorries and the snow ploughs were out, so the roads were cleared in just a couple of hours. Which isn't something that tends to happen in the UK, I know. A big house being built behind the back of there. That's a nice house. Let me let me look at that. Lovely, nice balconies. Yeah, nice, very nice, big property. That big property. Where am I? Oh, I know where I am. Oh, okay, let's go straight over then. I'm sure there's a kindergarten or something around here. Yeah. Oh, there you go. There's a kindergarten. Now, by law, they have to, I understand, have big outdoor space for the kiddies. So they're not allowed to just open up the village hall and keep them indoors all day. They've got to have outdoor play area. That's a requirement. Oh, right turn only, Clyde. Another start of commercial construction, I believe. A big piece of land that's being built on. Hey, Marco, nice to see you. Buffering a bit, yeah. I've got to stay away from certain words, Marco, and certain topics. Otherwise, all of a sudden, the connection gets iffy. And yeah, but lovely to see you, mate. Lovely to see you in the stream. Anyway, guys, please check out Italiano in Gran Britannia or Gran Britannia. Marco is an Italian living in the UK, and he live streams very much like I do. So we're kind of kindred spirits in that regard. We just turn the camera on and show whatever we can see. No editing, no fancy thumbnails or anything like that. Just turn the camera on, live stream, talk to you guys, answer as many questions as we can, and yeah, wander about a bit. I'm doing things a bit differently at the moment. I'm driving about a bit, Marco. So yeah, more to see. And the benefit is I can have the heated steering wheel and the heated seat on because it's -3 here today. But yeah, please check out his channel. Really lovely guy, lovely gentleman. And I do hope we meet in person someday. I'm sure we will. I'm looking forward to that. Whether it's me coming to the UK and us having a nice steak dinner up in the town, or Marco, you coming here. But yeah, really nice guy. Check out his channel. He goes all around London, shows the good, the bad, and the ugly. Very much like me, you know. So it's a very similar channel with the live streams, anyway. So yeah, you get to see the good, the bad, and the ugly if you're interested in London. He shows you some beautiful sights, but he also shows you the reality, the real world, not just the glossy. Nikolai, remember, elections in Russia, nothing changes. Elections in Eric. Well, good for you. Nice statement. Don't know why you made it. I'm not really interested, but crack on. I think Eric wants two onwards. Let's go and have a little look. So yeah, it's kind of cool. So our daughter went to school just up here on the right, but and parts of it are open again. But she's still going to the next village to go to school. At the moment. But once this is fully reopened, this school, once they've completed the refurbishment, see what I mean about dogs using the crossing? Amazing. Then they will close the other school in the village and they will redevelop that. There's going to be a brand new massive school built. So centre of the village and memorial. Most parks have memorials in them. Big part of Russian history is suffering and loss, which is why it's what the West doesn't understand. Just do not. They don't have anybody in the West anymore, in power, in government, that's capable of understanding Russians and Russia, which is why they try what they do and they continue on the path without understanding that they will never, ever, ever defeat these people, because these people are bred differently. I'm starting to get a bit hungry. Oh yeah, it's 12 o'clock, that's why. Nearly noon. So, what should we do? Where should we go for food? I think I'm going to go home for food. Because I've got galupsi waiting for me, which is a traditional Russian dish. And it's lovely. Doesn't look lovely on paper, I'll be honest. Wasn't something I fancied eating. Load of stuff wrapped in a cabbage leaf. But it is. It's lovely. Really like it. And the wife makes a lovely version. So, let me questions. So, but I've done a lot of driving on the continent, so I'm used to driving on the right hand side of the road anyway. The hardest thing was getting used to a left hand drive vehicle. All of a sudden, you can't, and becomes a bit sort of. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap it up now. I'm going to head home and have a look at my channel. Please share some of the videos that I've posted. And have a look at my channel. Please share some of the videos that I've posted. And yeah, on that note, I shall see you in the next one.